Oh, g'day guys. Just going to do a preview for the Hobart harness meeting on Sunday night, the 19th of Feb. Just going to take a new tact with these going forwards. I'm just going to pick out a couple that I like. As you know, I never tip shorties. Nothing, anything worse than somebody tipping shorties is some idiot celebrating them. So it'll be a bit of value going forward. Just pick a couple out, show the method in the madness with a replay. Um, so the two we've got here, also had a couple of people ask me, am I back betting on the product? And obviously, I think it goes without saying, we jump back in. Um, Big thing to do if you're going to take betting in Tassie Trots seriously is you have to find a way how to deal with some of the crap that you see. Um, I try to reconcile it myself. Um, there's a lot of team driving, for lack of a better description. Um, but since day one, since early 1900s, beginning of harness racing, if a trainer had two horses in the race, they may not be directly assisting their other runner, but they're definitely not hurting its chances. So it's obviously a lot more noticeable. And there are ways around that you learn to deal with it. It's deadly backing favourites. Um, but you also can almost get a semi-advantage as well in that you can back horses at a bit of value each way because you can have a bit of an educated guess as to how a race is going to be run. Like there'll be young lightweight drivers sent forward on horses drawn 6 and 7. Even if they can't cross a favoured runner drawn in close, they won't be able to hold them and they'll just declare the leader on. So it'll just be truly run and be last man standing. So there's value in the second line runners a lot of the time if there's a favoured runner drawn inside from a smaller stable. So we're obviously that can give you like a little advantage and things like that. So just you have to find sort of it's not all a black and white science. The punt. So and it said like with the actually example there, what was it? Friday night results. So on Friday in Launceston, Fury Dan's probably the best one. Like when he raced a couple of weeks ago in Hobart, he drew one, and about 20 minutes before the race, I tweeted, "Got no idea." No idea. The only certainty is that Fury Dan will all of a sudden lose his gate speed. It's this race here. Draws one. As you can see, they're all. There's only one non-stablemate there, and it drew to trail the leader. Usually got very good gate speed, Fury Dan, and hence I said it's going to lose its gate speed. So if we just watch this, it doesn't even try to come out. So here it is, gate one. The favourite drawn 8. Good sit, and it just doesn't even try to. It, not even being urged, even now, like it's just. And this is a good thing, beating this day, this favourite. Finally gets out. Here it's last, pulling wide here. There's no doubt it should have won. And on Friday night, just to show you what type of gate speed it does have, you can see it draws gate 5 here. So you can see the number 5 saddlecloth and it's all just depends on who's drawn inside, whether it goes forward or not, but that's something you work out. So just obviously be aware of stuff like that. So yeah, just keep it simple. Try and turn it into advantage. General rule of thumb, never back shorties because you can never have too much confidence. And that's never going to change, truth be told. It's been happening for that long, and plus, actually, come to think of it, we did actually get footage of the stewards running through there, trying to police the team driving side of things. So it's an oldie but a goodie, that one, but I couldn't help myself. But anyway, we'll get into the tips. Enough rubbish, but if you're going to bet on it, you just have to find a way to reconcile some of the crap you see. That's what we're trying to say. So the two tips, there's a couple of them. First one's in race 2 in the form of What About Spanger. He's now into $10. It was about his right price. They did put up 26. And he's been 26 into 10. If we just have a look through Fields, have a look through his form. It's a very even race, this, but he does have form tied into a few in the race. He won a race in Launceston a couple back, beat Better or More, and she came out last week and ran a blinder, 156, did all the work, got beaten on the line. Then subsequently he raced at Carrick in the same race as Pantano Stride and Linwood Skinner. I struggle with that name. So we'll have a look at a couple of those replays. So we'll show him winning in Launceston.
For Gareth Ratro, the cup winning.
So here they are. Here is Better or More in the yellow colours and trailed by in the Jacob Duggan colours there. So third last on the outside. They try one another up. They both get perfect runs in. So it's 3 wide, 2 back. About to pull 4 and 5 wide. Few winners have come out of this race too, if truth be told. As I said, Better or More ran very well last week. You've got Mr. Gently ran close second at Burnie. Here he is here, winning. What's his horse run? I'm Rock Solid. It won at Burnie. Yeah, so a few winners out of that. And then at Carrick, finished down the track a bit, but there were legit excuses. You got driven upside down a little bit. And it was over 2,600 metres, stand start.
No next skipper to come up.
So he settled third here. So Pantano strides in this, as is Leonard Skinner. So he's on the outside here. Actually, we'll just go back. So you can see here, who's driving the leader? Jordan Leadham. So he's going to hand up. He's a stablemate coming. And Adrian Dag in the middle said, no, none of that crap. Wish more drivers did this, if truth be told. If you want to hand up to a non-stable mate, not to the one that's predetermined before the race. Probably didn't do himself any favours. We're still going to be death seating anyway, you might as well. And that was Pantano Stride, who's a very good stayer. Hence, he's drawn 7. Pantano 1 out 1 back, so he's not a death seat horse. He's a sit sprinter, but he puts paid to the leader. Sitting shot late. Here's Leonard Skinner here, just getting out into the 3 wide line. You can see their form all marries up quite well together. Actually, I'll just... So it's a very even race. I've got no idea he went up $26. There's probably about 5 or 6 quite even. From a speed map perspective, obviously Better and More begins quite well. You've got a couple of fly machines here in Wyatt Flynn, who led on Friday night and ended up in Jawbreaker's an exceptional gate speed horse, drawn 5. So she does get out pretty good though, Better and More. But so following her throw, obviously should get a good run. 1 out, 2 back, early doors. Daylight at Dawn first up in the state, and obviously in Linwood Skinner we've pointed out there. So still think about $10, definitely about the right price. So probably wouldn't take any shorter than about $7.50, but managed to get a little bit of the better odds, not the 26, but a cop 19. So give him strength. And in race 5, there's one going well here in the form of Equity Stride. Haven't backed it yet. Went up $5. He's flying. A major query I've got is that tackling 70 to 79 grade, and he's been racing in much easier races. So here he is here, Equity Stride. So you can see so it was 64 to 69, 60 or better, 60 to 64, 60 to 69, 60 to 69, and he's in 70 to 79 grade here. We'll just go and have a look at the latest run, just to point out the reason behind it. So draws outside the front, goes all the way back to last. So you can see all the way back. So a big fella last year. So you can see the 3 wide line pulls out in front of him, and they just go nowhere. Prior to this, he galloped out in the New Norfolk Cup on the grass in Hobart. So if you look in the form guide and see they ran home in 65 seconds, it was because it was on the grass track. You just see those horses in front going absolutely nowhere. So he's got to go 4 and 5 wide around them. And then when he doesn't cost him winning. There's a bit of interference here and shuffling up. Cost him a bit of momentum and probably about 1.5, 2 metres. But he still keeps finding the line despite having to go about 5 wide, a long way from home. And this was leaders back. So he's clearly the best run in the race there. As I said, much easier grade, so keep that in mind. Prior to that, as I mentioned, he was in the stand start on the grass and had the big duck head, and he won the start prior in Hobart. So you see he's a big bloke. 1 out, 1 back. So he's about to launch here. He'd always mixed his form when he first came to Tassie. He'd never run 2 races alike. But he's put in, like even the run prior to this one was good as well. So he's virtually put 3 or 4 on the bounce. You can see here, he looks, he's this Kerala Star back on the inside. Can't think of the name of this, South Shore, I think it is, leading. Yeah, you can just see him charging away there late. There's no stars behind him, but yeah, I just think $5 I was hoping for about 6 to 650. Wouldn't want any shorter than 5. So, but that's the other one. So the two that we're throwing out there on Sunday, race 2, number 9. What about Spanger? And race 5, number 4, Equity Stride. If we want a roughie, oh my God. Oh, Star of Remembrance ran a cheeky little race. Ran second at $70, $61 a couple of starts ago, and there was $151 last week in the Harry Holgate final. And so they ran home in 57.2, 28.2, 29.
Though off the inside,
I think he's $26 at the moment. What is he? Oh, there's no each way. It's why I didn't back him. Yeah, $26, Star of Remembrance. So he's second from the outside, the red colours with the crown, yellow crown. Yeah. So you can see second last on the inside. Some pretty handy horses here. He's chasing. Hence he's $151. Like, this is a huge drop in grade. Just watch his last. Keeps finding the line. He hasn't got great change up speed, but he just keeps coming. So if it's a slowly run race, he's probably dead. But you can see that he just keeps finding the line, and here he's here, just running into 5th late. So you've beaten home some horses there that would start short price favourites in this race. So I just think $26 each way is the best bolter on the card. So just to recap then, race 9, number 3, the roughie. The other two, race 5, number 4, and race 2, number 9. Yeah, there's no even money morals for anybody who wants. Actually, there is a very good free-for-all. Should make mention of that as well. You've got Rack 'em Up Tiger Pie first up in the state. Obviously, been chasing some very handy ones in Victoria. Obviously, a huge drop in grade here, but hard to measure up. It's our age-old question, sort of being beaten easily against better opposition. Is it better than winning form against easier? So it's until they actually race each other and you get apples v apples, it's hard to be definitive. Obviously, Riley Major maps to get a decent run through as Frankerhampton does begin okay. You'd imagine Yanni should lead. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. Sunny Sands is a good miler. Harjeet first up. Generally isn't at his best over a mile unless he can get on speed. And I'd imagine he's probably going to be like a glorified trial, so I wouldn't be expecting too much from Harjeet. He's not going to be wide up here. Over the mile, I'd probably stick with Riley, but yeah, no real opinion. So, but anyway, there's the harness preview for race 2, number 9, 5, number 4, and 9, number 3. Hopefully one of them gets the job done, and that'll probably be the format going forwards. We'll just pop a few out at a bit of value. As I said, nobody wants the bleedingly obvious. So until next time, I'll leave you with it, guys, and thanks again. Cheers.